Welcome back. Today I'm going to be working on those giant birds of paradise to the left of the doorway on this piece. I showed you my palette at the very beginning, and this has I mix all my colors out before I get started because then it makes it very easy to just keep painting. And the colors are mostly, all of these greens are mixes of phthalo blue plus a little cadmium orange plus some cadmium yellow medium plus lemon yellow and some white and lighter mixtures. And then that blue mix is phthalo blue plus white plus just a tiny bit of some of that green. So anyway, we're going to get started, and I'm using also some of the color left over from my bricks, some of the rusty colors, because those colors show up in the trunks of these giant birds of paradise. These are beautiful. They really, occasionally they flower, but mostly the foliage is just the beautiful part. And the flowers are just big white birds of paradise. They're really very pretty. In fact, I will show you a picture of that. They look just like a regular orange bird of paradise, except they're much bigger and really pretty blossoms. Again, we had some of these planted at our home on North Padre Island, which is on the coast of Texas, just near Corpus Christi. And they're just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful plants. They bloomed occasionally. Mostly it was just those great big leaves, and when the wind would blow, you'd hear them rustling in the breeze. It's just really, really beautiful. Now I'm getting the trunks in first. This is a mixture of this dark is a mixture of my mud, which is 2 parts of ultramarine blue and 1 part of alizarin crimson. And I mixed a little liquid into that. These long stalks, they're actually the stems of the leaves, I guess. Now I've saved my watercolor. You could see in the picture of my palette at the very beginning, all the little paint dabs on the left-hand side. Those are my colors left over from a previous painting session. And those are my wall colors. And now I can come back in. I don't have to worry about mixing any of that paint. I can come back in and make the wall there between the branches of my bird of paradise. And these just sway and go out all different directions. Okay, now I'm going to start on the big leaves. And this is one of the reasons I really love these bright brushes. They're that square-ended brush because it makes it so easy to paint things like this. And now this paint of my bricks is still wet, so I have to be careful painting that because my brush picks up some of that orange on it. And so I have to keep wiping my brush. To have clean color on your canvas, you need to have a clean brush. So I'm going to pull out here. The sun is hitting this leaf or frond. Palms are called fronds. I'm not sure if these are or not. I'll have to look that up. But love these big leaves, and they just are very, very graceful. And I love things happening like right in here where that paint showing through from the bricks. I want to leave that. Those are happy accidents that Jack used to say you have to know when to keep some of that stuff and not just keep going back over your paint. I like those big heavy strokes. And these leaves, as they flip around in the wind, they kind of get splits in them, and just a beautiful, again, they're just a very graceful. And this, I'm using a little bit of my phthalo blue plus liquid, and I just dipped my brush into that and then picked up a little bit of the green. Now, this leaf is coming up here. That's going to go behind that one. You know what? I made this one leaf too big. So, I can go back, clean my brush real well. I brought this one over too far. I don't like that. I like showing more of my brick in my surround around the door. So I can just scrape that paint off. Let's just let that leaf end right there. Scrape that green off. Take some of my color that I saved. And I can come back and just repaint my wall in there. And there we go. Now this will make a little bit of a shadow here. It casts a shadow on this wall there. Like this one's casting a shadow here. In fact, I want this to come over more. And then this one's shadow is cast down here. Yeah, I like that better. And this leaf I want to show a little more of this edge here. There we go. That's what I was talking about there. That's what I want. Bring some of that phthalo blue mixture in there. And I want these, I think I want this leaf to come back. It's just a matter of playing with this and seeing which way we want the leaves to go. What looks best. Sunlight's catching this one. And I have my reference material on the laptop next to my easel and next to my palette. Let me show you that. Okay, we're back. Also, I wanted to tell you the perspective on this is a little bit skewed because I have to have the camera over to the left of my palette and easel so that you can see me. If I put it directly behind me so you could see the painting straight on, I'd be in front of the painting and you wouldn't see it. So let's bring a little more these up here. Again, I get several colors on my brush. And I can just make those great big giant leaves. Yeah, I'm going to have to look that up, if those are called fronds like palm trees or if they're called leaves. So these are coming over, and I'll go back in and paint in between those. And this, some of the leaves get more, the older leaves get kind of a yellower, warmer yellow. This has a little more cadmium, yellow medium and cadmium orange in it. And we're going to do one leaf down here. Come over my flowers in the foreground. A little shadow here. This one will have a shadow. You really can't go wrong. That's the nice thing about painting plants and stuff. I started out as a medical illustrator and there was no room for leeway. You couldn't change the course of a blood vessel or a nerve or anything. when you're doing a surgical illustration or anatomical illustration. So painting gardens and flowers and stuff is a lot nicer. I just keep looking at my reference material to see those leaves, how they come at us, and just their different shapes and everything. A lot of people can make things up, and actually it's like this painting is all based on that doorway that's from the Mission San Juan Bautista in California, and then I made up the landscape around it. But as far as, in the courtyard, but as far as making up the plants and things, I rely on my reference material. I don't want that to echo these two. So let's bring up another. I'm going to have to bring some paint back in there. Let's see, what do I want this to do? I want this trunk to come out. So I've got to be careful. I don't want that to be the same. Let's do it like this. And I'm going to, oops, my tissue's coming off I have my tissue suspended underneath my palette, kind of on a wire. That's why it does all the rattling. Now I can come back then and start painting my little openings in here with my color left over from my walls. Let's let this be a complete opening. So I can just kind of judge how I want these little holes to be. This is one of the wonderful things that I love about oil paint, is I can save my paint for several days out on the palette and reuse it and not have to worry about it drying out or anything. Couldn't do that with acrylics. Okay, I know what I want to do there. This one's going to come down like so. No, I don't want it to be like that one. So we're going to have two leaves in here. And then we're going to have another one cascading over here. Now I'll have to go back and do more work on these, but I've pretty well got them blocked in. I like my shapes, and I like the gracefulness of these big giant bird of paradise leaves. And that's what I want, is just that graceful feel, that graceful flow in here. So I really appreciate you watching my YouTube videos. To see the complete step-by-step process of this piece, please visit my blog. The link is in the description below. I also have the address on the final frame of my YouTube video. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to my blog, and you will receive notification every time I make a new post. So I hope you'll come follow along, and you have a wonderful day. And today, when you're out and about, just give somebody a big smile. We never know what's happening in other people's lives, and sometimes somebody just needs a smile. You don't know how you might just change their day just by giving them a big smile. So you have a great day, and thank you again for watching my videos.